Well, good morning. Here we are with Game Agent, the video 4 in the Q Learning series. Thought we'd start with an overview. We should be far enough along now to understand this. What we've got from the Python tutorial is we have this agent. It decides an action. It does that action in the training environment, then returns a state and a reward and goes around and around and around and around. That 4x4 frozen lake example, they train this agent typically in 1,000 episodes, end up with an optimal policy. That's what they're doing in the Python. And we're going to transfer that system exactly over into Godot here in a few minutes. What they didn't do was take the next step and actually save that optimal policy that they trained in their environment. And they didn't do the step 3, which was take that optimal policy and actually run it in the real frozen lake environment and show their agent jumping around between squares. But we need to do these other two things also. Essentially, step 1, we're going to start this here in video 4. We're going to continue on in video 5, a little bit more in video 6. And video 6 is also going to do the step 2. It's going to save the optimal policy. Video 7, we're going to run the trained agent and show how to do that. It's complicated. And then video 8, we're going to look at this whole system again, this whole summary again for your game and give you some ideas on things that might work, because if you make the real game environment too complex, it's going to be very difficult to do step 1. And if you, it's also going to be difficult to transfer once you get it to step 2 to transfer the optimal policy back into your real game environment. But we'll cover that in video 8. So without further ado, let's continue on with step 1. Okay, so here we are now back in Godot. And what I've done is I've created a new node type 2D and added a label to it to create this thing. And I've also, for the node 2D, I've also added a script. And the script I have in here is the exact code from Python after it's been translated by ChatGPT into GD script. You'll notice as you look down it, so there's the 16 states and the same 4 actions. A lot of the stuff is the same. The places that did change really is where the Python was using NumPy, and we don't have that available here. So that really showed up in 2 places where it was doing the random, like right there, and right there, and where it was finding maximums of the various parts of the tables. And it did end up creating a new function, but it works just fine. Let's check and see. So notice I'm going to hit the run scene, not run the whole game. And when that showed up, that means it was done already. So it's also very fast. And again, there's a Q table, the learn Q table, which we're calling the optimized table or the target table. And notice in this case, the highest number in state 0 is in the 3rd position, which is actually position 0, 1, 2. So it's position 2, which of course, best action for state 0 is 2. So it seems to be working fine. And that's what getting the original Python game with the 16 states and Frozen Lake working in our in Godot, and it works great. So next step is to take this and convert it into something that's useful for our game, which has 22 states. And let's go over those states now to make sure you understand what's happening there. So pause on this, off to the next one. So I'll go to the human player. There's a human player. So this is a game that we want to actually transform over into to actually build that model for us so we can do our training environment. So I think of it this way. So the training environment has to have discrete states, and this looks pretty continuous, which isn't going to work. So here's how I'm looking at it. This is going to be state 1. State 2 is right about there. State 3 is right in the middle there. State 4 is here. State 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 is off the edge to the right. 0 is off the edge to the left. Then back over here, that'd be state 13, state 14, state 15, state 6, whoops, I missed it, state 15, state 16, state 17, 18, 19, and 20. Missed one. 21, sorry, missed one. Anyway, we have 22 states, counting off the ends both ways, and we need to figure out how to get that into the game. Notice, I'll pause for one more second here. Notice I didn't have to choose. This could have been state 1 right here. State 2 could have been everything, or state 2 could have been everything under here. Just one big state, big area for a state. State the next one here, and the next one here. And one could be this entire top of the platform. The other one's the entire top of this platform, entire top of this platform. And you end up with 7 or 9 states, depending on how you choose to do it. Excuse me, 8 or 10 states. And that's going to be useful later on. We'll talk about that option in video 8. So we're done with that. Now the next question is, how do we go about starting that? And so what I'm going to suggest you do is, we've got just enough time. We're going to add a new scene, another 2D, and I'm going to call it agent underscore Q learning. And going to add a child node to that. A label, just like before. And I'm going to say something like agent Q learning. Okay. And let's go over here. Let's drag it up. It's not hiding up in the corner. Okay, now as far as the script goes, I don't have a script yet for it. So select the agent Q learning, click on the little scroll up here to get a script, make it the same name. And it's got not much in there. However, what we're going to do is we're going to go grab this script from the Python Q learning, select all, copy, and then go back over to my new one, the agent Q learning, and paste. Now I've got it all sitting in here, and of course it's going to do the old one because I need to start making changes. For starters, of course, I've got 22 states. Actions are different. I'm going to call this one 0 as move left. I'm going to call action 1 jump left. Oops. I'm going to call action 2 to be move right. And I'm going to call action 3 to be jump right. Of course, you may need to do different things because your game is different. I could easily see if you have something like snowballs we're going to throw, you might have 2 more actions, like throw left and throw right or something like that. But we'll get to that again in video 8. Right now we only have 4 actions. We have 22 states, which the next thing, believe it or not, these things all stay the same. Stays the same. Stays the same, believe it or not. Now in initializing the environment, we're going to have to change the rewards. And we're going to have to add some more states to here to get up to 22 to show the state transitions. We're going to do this. I think we're going to do this in a video 4a. So I think that's it for now. Do get caught up, please. And I'll see you in a bit. Actually, I'm going to save these things and we'll see you in a bit. And it's okay, all good. Okay, I'm going to end there and we'll see you in a bit. Bye.